Let's talk about the Monty Hall problem. Yes, I know it's mathematics, but it's also psychology. And I remember hearing this for the very first time and being awake for 2 nights straight. My brain was so intrigued by it. So I want to share it with you and see if we can learn from it. Because what it explains, this Monty Hall problem, is how we human beings sometimes choose something that's really stupid, thinking we're making the right choice. Now, Monty Hall was a Canadian person who was on TV who did a game show. And let's talk about that game show. So in this game show, there's 3 doors. And behind each of the doors is a prize. Now, the prize consists out of one super prize, like a great car or a large amount of money or something you'd really like to have. And the other 2 prizes are a goat. Yes, you heard that right. A goat. So the game works as follows. You get to choose which one of these 3 doors you choose. Where do you think your prize is at? Let's say you choose door number 1. So this door is marked down. You've chosen that door. Now Monty Hall now goes to the 2 other doors and opens one of them and reveals that behind that door there is a goat. Let's say in this case he opens door number 2 and it's a goat. He then asks you, do you want to change your mind? Do you want to change from door 1 to door number 3? Now this is the problem, because most human beings say no to the change. Most human beings say, nope, gonna stick with mine. And that would be super stupid, dumb, ridiculous, crazy. Before we look at why we wouldn't change, let's look at why it would be wise to change. So let's say we don't know anything about the doors yet. You've chosen door number 1. There's a 1/3 chance that behind this door is your prize. That means, now bear with me, don't get angry. That means behind these 2 doors is together a probability of 2/3. So 2/3 of a chance that it's behind door number 2 or number 3. Now Monty Hall knows where the prize is. So he's never going to open the door with the prize. He's always going to open the door with the goat. So he opens door number 2. That means that this one is gone. That means that there's a 2/3 probability that your big prize is here. You should always change. Let me, before I explain what psychological effect this is, let me show you in a different way. Let's now say there's 20 doors. And let's say there's still goats and 1 super nice prize. All right, let's say I choose door number 5. I say that's my door, want to go for that door. But let's say that Monty Hall now opens all other doors except door number 23. Would I want to change? The answer is, of course! Because if I go for door number 5, that means I have a chance in 1 in 20. But if I go for door number 23, that means there's a chance in 19 in 20, which is 95%, that I get my prize. So when you largen it, you can see that then when the stakes are bigger, it's more easy to understand that statistically, if you repeat this result over and over, you will get the better chance of success or winning the prize when you change. Now, the interesting thing is, how come most people don't change when they get the chance to, make the change? And it's even smarter to make the change. How come we don't? There's 2 biases that cause us not to change. The number 1 bias is loss aversion bias. This bias states that our brain is wired in such a way that we are more afraid of losing something than we are, eager of winning something. For some people this sounds really weird, but it's super true. It's been tested over the whole world over and over again. We are more afraid of losing something than we are eager of winning something. Let me explain that with the Monty Hall problem. If I've chosen door number 1, and now Monty Hall says, do you want to change to door number 3? I'm not thinking of the probability of winning. I'm thinking of, what if I change to door number 3 and then Monty Hall opens door number 3 and it's a goat, and I have to live with myself thinking about door number 1 and my first pick was correct. I'd rather lose the prize behind door number 3 than live with the loss of changing. Isn't that weird? Loss aversion is something that drives us all the time. The second bias is the bandwagon bias. What this means is that our brain is wired in such a way that once we've started with the project in a certain way, once we've got a plan, once we're on our way to the future, we are not willing to change the plan. We are on that way, we're on that path, and even though the market changes, even though everything changes around us, we keep on going in that same path. Instead of going, wait, why did we start this? The whole market has changed, we've got to start, we've got to start over, we've got to stop this. This is silly to do this. And that's the bandwagon bias. Now, your homework, should you be willing to accept it, is to look in your own life where the loss aversion bias is going on and where you are in a bandwagon bias of continuing something that once was a good idea, but maybe it's better to change. All right, keep on learning. See you next time.